you. Morning, everyone. Morning. Excellent. Got some energy? Excellent. Things that I want to talk about. Thank you for allowing us to video you. You are being videoed now, so if you could please just behave yourself and not swear. That would be fantastic. Things that I just want to mention very quickly before we get started. The video. Soldiers. I've got with me some soldiers, and I've got with me a hand grenade. And the reason for that is because I am at war with the recession. So it's a good idea, I think, to have some soldiers and some hand grenades. The way we're going to be using the soldiers is that it is supposed to be an interactive session. So if you have something useful or interesting to say, please say it. And if we all think it's useful and interesting, you will get a soldier. Okay? And at the end of the session, we will have a little count up and we'll see who the generals are. Okay? So that's the soldiers. You don't really want to know what the hand grenade is for. So I'm hoping we won't have to use that. So that's the soldiers and the hand grenade. I just want to talk very briefly about our experience. The idea with the farming, selling farming in the BSc crisis is that I'm kind of used to a crisis, I think. I'm in sales and marketing, so I'm really used to a crisis. But our experience of this recession is that it kind of landed on us in the middle of October 2007, where up until that time we had a little queue of people around our building who all wanted to come and do exciting marketing things with us. And we used to see a lot of people every week, and typically they would end up doing something with us. Until one day it happened that these people said, Martin, it's all great, we're really excited about what you're going to be doing for us, and we really want to do something, but we're just going to wait and see what happens. And what happens if you wait and see is that nothing happens, basically. But that started a little trend in our business where people were excited to be talking to us, they were still talking to us, but they started just to wait and see what was going to happen. So what's happened with our business in that 18 months since October 2007 is that we've had to evolve to meet the needs that people have right now in this current climate. And that's what I'm looking to say to you today. So I think that this recession, this economic downturn, is the best opportunity that there has been for small businesses in the last 15 years. And you could look at me like you believed me. That would be good. So that's what I'm looking to convince you of in the next 40 minutes. I have a bit of an agenda. So what we're going to do firstly is we're going to talk about what all the fuss is about. We are going to look at the victims of this economic downturn. We are going to think about what this means for small businesses, and we're going to think about how we realise the opportunities presented by the economic downturn. That's exciting, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, good. Okay, so what I want to do just shortly, in researching this, I wanted to understand what all the fuss was about. So I went to some of the newspapers. I thought it would be a really good idea to have some of the headlines that we've all been experiencing for the last 18 months. And I've got lots. But when I put the search official recession into Times, I'm not picking on the Times, apart from they do have a fantastic way of archiving their news, which is probably why I use them the most. It came up with 1,105 results. News articles that contained the terms official recession. Now, I don't know about you, but I think that's a little bit excessive. We've only officially been in recession since January the 23rd, and they cannot have written 1,100 news stories about the official recession in that time. But what you'll find if you look at this is that actually they've been talking about the official recession for a long time. I picked up the story around August 2007, when they were already telling us if you thought it could not get any worse, think again. That was August 2007. Housing bubble about to burst, say the Lib Dems, in September 2007. Boss angers the queuers by branding them irrational. We remember this when people were queuing in the streets to get their money out of the accounts. Mortgage lending falls by 12%. This was October 2007. Consumer spending drops to 2-year low. That was in February 2008. Hundreds more jobs are lost as economy reels. Hundreds they're talking about in July 2008. New housing orders tumbled by 35% in August 2008. Sterling's decline against the dollar hits run not suffered since 1975 in August the 16th, 2008. Nightmare on Wall Street. This is when the Lehman Brothers and these guys all fell over. That was in September 2008. Britain is in recession and 500,000 jobs now, 500,000 jobs will be lost by Christmas. So we can see how things have really started to ramp up. Now, this was a black day for me and all Manchester United fans when it turned out that the credit crunch had struck Manchester United's £56 million shirt sponsor. That's when I started to take the recession seriously. Okay, this was a shocker. In October 2008, Britain's forced to dip into their savings for the first time since 1958. Britain faces crisis of negative equity to reach 2 million households. Jobless will total 3 million, they're telling us. But don't worry, says the Prime Minister, let the unemployed lag houses. This is the week we went into recession warning that economy will shrink until 2010. Now this is 18th of October 2008. We are still not officially in recession at this time, I have to tell you. Recession takes toll on the high street as sales slump. Return of the dole queues in October 2008. Brown vanishes as official figures confirm the economy is diving into recession. Pound crashes to 5-year low against the dollar. Economy shrinks. Threat of worst post-war slump grows as major economies enter recession. Are you depressed yet? Unemployment hits 11-year high of 1.82 million. They were telling us it was going to be 3 like 2 weeks before this. Household spending falls. Retail figures fuel fears of long recession. Recession Britain, it's official, January the 23rd. Now the reason this date strikes me is because at this time that the recession was official, the press had been banging on about the recession for 18 months. And I knew because we'd been feeling it in our business. Now, the other reason that this day strikes me is because I had the news on this day, and it went something like, duh, 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 official, we're in recession. And it's like, about time. We've been banging on about it for long enough. The next thing was, duh, 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 how bad is it going to get? Now, I'm not sure if that's news, how bad is it going to get. I'm sure that's speculation. And it's this kind of speculation, I think, that has actually damaged our economy. Okay, more it's official. Recession could be the worst since the 1930s. US economy shrinks. Bentley and GM announced job cuts. Bailouts to add 1.5 trillion to national debt as taxes tumble. Bank of England cuts interest rate to 1%. Over 50s frozen out in the credit crunch. So if you're old, you're going to suffer. 19,000 jobs to go in building. And unemployment to soar to 3.4 million now, we think. But it's still actually much less than 2 million. So I'm sorry I had to do this to you this morning, but I had to get you to understand how serious this recession is. So this is all of the fuss, but what is all of the fuss about? Do we know? Do we know actually how much our economy has shrunk by? Does anyone actually have any idea how much the economy has shrunk by? It's, yeah, I'm not an economist, I'm an optimist, but I think that from the reading that I've done, it's somewhere around 1, 1.5 or 2%. 1, 1.5 or 2% is how much the actual economy has shrunk by. So what will 1, 1.5 or 2% do to your business if your sales were to slow down by that much, or your turnover were to slow down that much? I think we could cope, couldn't we? I'm pretty sure we could cope. Right, I want you to do a little bit of exercise because I'm a little bit hoarse now because I've been shouting. So what I want to know is here, who's felt the effects of the recession? Actually felt the effects of the recession? Okay, a few of you have felt the effects of the recession. Okay, who's seen work slow down? Who's seen a reduction in inquiries and actually the work that they're actually doing slowing down? Okay, a few of you have seen that as well. Who knows someone that's lost their job? Okay, so this is actually touching us. And who's worried about the outcomes of the recession? Who's worried about where it's all going to go in the end? Okay, whose mortgage payments have gone down? There's a touch, isn't it? No one's talking about that very much. And who's busier than they normally are? And who's excited about the recession? Excellent. Give it another half an hour. Okay, so this is